Service and allied, we fully support the national strike on the 12th of February, calling upon the government of India to immediately scrap these anti-worker labor codes. We stand firmly with you and call all our affiliates across the world to pledge solidarity with all Indian state government employee federations. Friends, no class pities another class. Indeed, every advance in workers' rights, wages and working conditions has historically been achieved through determined and fierce struggles. No victory or advance is handed freely to the working class under capitalism. The recognition we receive and advances we make everywhere are a function of unity, strength and determination. The struggle to advance and defend trade union rights and collective bargaining in the public service is a vital aspect for the broader class struggle. Public service workers and unions do not just fight for better wages and working conditions, they also fight for access, equity and justice for every citizen. We are fighting for the soul of our society and the essence of democracy. Ours is a struggle against poverty, inequality, and unemployment. These are societal problems that transcend the workplace and workers' lives. As public service workers, we are on the front lines, delivering essential service to people. This location enables us to better appreciate the negative impact of neoliberal policies on the public service and imperatives for decent work as well as accessible quality public service. It is this alive experience that informs our rejections of the attempts to erode essential public functions of the state and replace them with private service provision and triple Ps. Friends, neoliberal attacks on the public service take on various forms. While privatization and outsourcing often undermine the quality of public service and workers' rights, such regressive measures also lead to budget cuts and other cost-saving measures that have a negative impact on the public service in general. The net result of all these budget cuts find expression in staff shortages that lead to heavier workloads, austerity measures and wage freezes that undermine the living standards of workers, including outsourcing and contract work that threatens job security and unionization. Under these constant attacks, workers' social benefits and livelihoods and pensions get compromised and negatively affected. The attitude of our TUI as a trade union of public service workers worldwide is the same in every country. We reject neoliberal austerities, outsourcing and privatization. As a result, we demand the following: adequate funding and resources for public service and infrastructure, free public access to essential services like health, education, transport and welfare, decent work and fair wages for all, equal work for work of equal value, improved working conditions and occupational safety, respect and protection of trade union rights, including the right to strike, and an end to attacks on collective bargaining. We demand for the adherence to all ILO conventions and a democratic worker-controlled trade unions. Friends, in the course of struggle for democratic society, better working conditions and sustainable livelihood, we must not neglect the work inside our trade unions themselves. The question of women participation in various leadership structures of the union is central in addressing patriarchy in our trade unions and society. We, as progressive trade unions, must lead by example on these questions. The same applies to the youth question. Our future as a trade union movement and as a class depends on this. and that is what gives us moral superiority over the other conservative social forces in society. Comrades, the progress and historic gains of workers and the working class are always under threat of reversal and regression under capitalism. This is so simply because capitalism and bosses do not give concessions that they are not ready to give, and are always willing and ready to reverse any concession as soon as the situation demands it. That is why workers everywhere in the world are constantly faced with the threat of reversal of their historic gains. The reality calls for unity and permanent vigilance within the ranks of the progressive trade union movement to confront the real enemy of the working class, which is capitalism. As a class-oriented trade union movement, the basis for broadening the class struggle and extending our reach lies within the economic struggles. Question of